Hello, I'm Dr. Clote, and here is your guide to graduate student financial support for travel to academic conferences. First, congratulations on your acceptance to present at an academic conference. The Department of Modern Languages is proud to support you as you share your research with other scholars and as you enter the larger world of academia. There are several forms that you need to submit to receive travel funding. And while it may seem onerous to have to complete so many forms and attend to so many details, ultimately, you will be reimbursed through the university by the state of Mississippi. And since you will be receiving travel funds from the state budget, you must complete each of these forms correctly. Due to state and university policies, first, you must pay your travel expenses out of your own funds or with your own credit card, such as purchasing an airline ticket, reserving a hotel room, and paying the conference registration fee. Then, after your trip, the university will reimburse your expenses. Incidentally, this "you pay first and the university reimburses you later" is the policy in nearly every university in the United States. So you'll find a similar reimbursement process at other universities where you may study or work after you finish your degree in modern languages. Later, when we see the travel authorization form, I will show you how to request a travel advance to help pay some expenses before and during your trip. Now, rule number 1. Do not wait until the last minute. Complete each form as early as possible. As early as possible. Do not delay. If you wait to submit your forms, a mistake that some graduate students have made in the past, you may not receive reimbursement. Then you will have to pay all conference expenses on your own. Also, if you wait until the last minute to complete your forms, you are making the reimbursement process more difficult for our administrative assistant in modern languages, the graduate program coordinators in modern languages, the associate chair of modern languages, the chair of modern languages, and the staff of the graduate school. Consider the people on this list. You need their support to complete your degree. So inconveniencing them or making their work more difficult is unwise. Also, it's common courtesy to submit your forms on time. So carefully track the deadlines and submit your forms as early as possible. Immediately after you are accepted to present at your conference, you will submit the Modern Languages Graduate Student Travel Application. Access this form at umml.link/travel. That is University Mississippi Modern Languages umml.link/travel. Carefully read the instructions to understand the funding process. The personal information is self-explanatory. Next, write the conference name, the organization sponsoring the conference, and the conference location. Then, the dates the conference will take place. Explain your rationale for presenting research at this conference. How will presenting at this conference contribute to your degree, to your research agenda, and to your career plans? How will presenting at this conference contribute to the scholarly discourses in your field of study? Next, write a synopsis of the research you will present. This form is circulated within the Department of Modern Languages. So, your audience for this application are the graduate program coordinators, the associate chair of modern languages, and the chair of modern languages. Therefore, tailor your narrative to scholars in our department who are generally familiar with research in modern languages, but who may not be familiar with abbreviations or professional jargon that are specific to your field of study. For example, a literature professor may review your application to a linguistics conference. Explain your project clearly and concisely. Note the two funding options listed on page 1. You may request $200 from the graduate school to present your original research at an academic conference. This option is best for conferences that take place in Mississippi or nearby, such as in Memphis, where you can easily drive to the conference and then return to Oxford within 24 hours. Or you may request $500 from Modern Languages, which then qualifies you for an additional $300 from the graduate school, for a possible total of $800. This option is best for conferences that you will attend for multiple days or to which you will fly a commercial airline to attend. Now on page 3, select the appropriate funding option. Many academic conferences offer travel funds to graduate students to help defer the costs. Applying for this additional conference funding leaves a positive impression on the Modern Languages faculty that review your application and can help get your application approved. Next, estimate your expenses. List the exact cost for conference registration at the graduate student rate. For transportation, lodging, and food, search the internet for representative airfare, taxi rates, parking fees, and hotel rates. To help you calculate these expenses, go to the Office of Procurement's website at umml.link/procurement. In the left column, you will see the university's policy documents that govern academic travel. And in the right column, you will see the links to necessary travel forms. Review the links on this webpage to familiarize yourself with the university's travel policies, particularly the airline travel policy, lodging policy, and the link for choosing transportation. Click the Meal Reimbursement link to familiarize yourself with the university's policy. Then consult the high-cost meal list and search for your destination. This sample conference takes place in Chicago, Illinois. So I scroll down to see that at the time of my conference, the maximum reimbursable food amount is $56 per day. Take this amount into consideration when estimating your meal expenses. Estimate the costs in each category and calculate the total expenses. With the estimated expenses in mind, complete the estimated payments. List the amount you will personally contribute to this trip. This amount is an important consideration if your total expenses exceed the $200 or $800 allotments. List the amount you requested from the conference organizers above. Then, based on your total expenses and the funding requested, decide the amount to request from Modern Languages and from the graduate school. Then calculate your total payments. Finally, list any previous travel grants that you have received from Modern Languages and/or from the graduate school. Then email this form to Dr. Clote at jklODT@oldmiss.edu. The graduate program coordinators and the associate chair of Modern Languages will review your travel application. The coordinators will notify you of their decision by email. If you have been approved for travel funding, there are 3 forms you must complete before you travel to your conference. As mentioned before, complete these forms as early as possible. Ideally, you should complete the following 3 forms immediately after the graduate program coordinators approve your travel funding by email. First, complete the graduate school travel form. If you are requesting funding from the graduate school, and nearly all graduate students will request graduate school funding, complete this form. Access this form at umml.link/gstravel. Obviously, read and follow the instructions on the webpage, and click here to get the form. Obviously, carefully read and follow the instructions. The top information is self-explanatory. Here, you will write the title of your presentation and the type of presentation, such as reading a paper or a poster presentation. Note that the graduate school requires 3 documents. First, attach a PDF of the abstract or synopsis of the research you will present, similar to the synopsis you wrote on the previously completed Modern Languages Graduate Student Travel application. Remember your audience. It is unlikely that the staff in the graduate school will be familiar with abbreviations, professional jargon, or languages other than English that are specific to your field of study. Therefore, write clearly and concisely. Second, attach the Notice of Presentation Acceptance, a PDF of the email or the letter that confirms that you have been accepted to present your research at this conference. And third, even though it is not specified on the graduate school travel form, on their website, the graduate school requests the conference announcement, so attach a PDF of the call for papers or a screenshot of the conference webpage. Finally, write the estimated cost of your trip and other sources of funding that you determined on the previously completed Modern Languages Graduate Student Travel application. Save the graduate school travel form and the 3 required attachments, and continue on to the International Travel Approval Form. If your conference takes place outside of the United States, complete the International Travel Approval Form. Access this form on the Office of Procurement's website at umml.link/procurement. Click on International Travel to familiarize yourself with the university's policies. Then download the International Travel Approval Form. Carefully read and follow the instructions. The personal information is mostly self-explanatory. Your title is the degree program in which you are enrolled. Travel advisories. Click the link to the Office of Global Engagement and follow the instructions regarding international travel responsibilities, travel insurance, and visa status. Consult the U.S. State Department Travel Advisory Level website. Search for your destination and indicate the current level as of the date you are completing this form. Consult the Centers for Disease Control Travel Notice Level website. Search for your destination and indicate the current level as of the date you are completing this form. Describe your purpose of travel, which is similar to the rationale for attending this conference you wrote on the previously completed Modern Languages Graduate Student Travel application. Remember your audience. It is unlikely that the administrators processing this document will be familiar with abbreviations, professional jargon, or languages other than English that are specific to your field of study. Therefore, write clearly and concisely. Write the specific benefits to the university and how your travel supports the university's goals and its mission. Finally, sign and date the form on the line for Employee. Save the International Travel Approval Form and continue on to the Travel Authorization Form. Access this form at the Office of Procurement's website at umml.link/procurement. Click on Travel Authorization to familiarize yourself with the university's policies. Then click on Travel Authorization Form and download the Travel Authorization XL form. Contact information. The employee is your name. The contact person is also your name. It is the person administrators will contact in case of questions or problems. Write your campus extension number for your office and your mobile phone number. The personnel number is your 8-digit student ID number. The title is the degree program in which you are enrolled. And check your destination. The convention information is self-explanatory. In the purpose section, indicate that you will be presenting your original research at this conference. Remember that you can receive travel funding only if you present original research at an academic conference. Include the title of your presentation and your destination, city, state, and country. Remember your audience. It is unlikely that the administrators processing this document will be familiar with abbreviations, professional jargon, or languages other than English that are specific to your field of study. Therefore, write clearly and concisely. Indicate if anyone will accompany you to this conference. Attending a conference with a fellow graduate student that is also presenting research at the conference is a great way to save money by sharing hotel rooms, Uber rides, and parking expenses. Showing that you are being frugal with the department's limited travel funds is a good way to show the graduate program coordinators and the chair of modern languages that your application is worthy of funding. You must list any friends or family members that are accompanying you, but remember that the university can only reimburse your expenses and cannot reimburse any expenses for friends or family members. Total estimated costs. List the estimated costs of your trip that you determined on the previously completed Modern Languages graduate student travel application. Travel advance. To help pay for your trip, you may request that an advance be deposited in your bank account before your trip. You can request an 80% advance, conference registration fee advance, or airfare advance. Click the Instructions tab at the bottom of the spreadsheet to see the instructions for the travel advance. As you can see, the 80% advance is only available for out-of-state or out-of-country travel, and you must submit receipts to receive advances on the conference registration fee or airfare. Note that if you request an advance but do not resolve your reimbursement within 60 days, the university will deduct the amount of your advance from your payroll. Finally, sign and date the form. Then, email the Graduate School Travel Form, the International Travel Approval Form, and the Travel Authorization Form, along with any other required documents, to Dr. Clote at jklodt@olemiss.edu. After submitting the Graduate School Travel Form, the International Travel Approval Form, if necessary, and the Travel Authorization Form, along with any other required documents, make your reservations. Purchase your airline ticket as early as possible. Generally speaking, the earlier you purchase your airline ticket, the lower the price. Seek the most economical airline ticket possible. Showing that you are being frugal with the department's limited travel funds is a good way to show the graduate program coordinators and the chair of modern languages that your application is worthy of funding. Save the receipt for your airline ticket. Follow the Office of Procurement's policy under the link Choosing Transportation. When you purchase your airline ticket, save 2 comparison fares from 2 different websites to show that you are selecting an economically priced airline ticket. Save these comparison fares as PDFs or screenshots. You will submit them with your reimbursement form. Make your hotel reservation. Take advantage of the discount that most conferences offer on hotel rates. If you are staying at a hotel in Mississippi, the procurement website at umml.link/procurement offers hotel-motel state contracts. Take advantage of these special rates when possible. If you need to reserve a rental vehicle, follow the instructions on the Office of Procurement website at umml.link/procurement. Before you leave for your conference, let's review the rules. As we saw before, rule number 1, complete each form as early as possible. And a new one, rule number 2, during your trip, save your receipts. You will have to submit receipts showing that you paid for each expense you incur during your trip. If you do not provide a receipt, either a printed paper receipt or a PDF of a completed transaction, the university will not reimburse that expense. So, save your receipts. Immediately after your conference, complete the Travel Reimbursement Voucher. Access this form at the Office of Procurement's website at umml.link/procurement. Click on the Travel Reimbursement link to familiarize yourself with the university's policy. Then, download the Travel Reimbursement Excel form. Contact information. The employee is your name, and the contact person is also your name, the person administrators will contact in case of questions or problems. The personnel number is your 8-digit student ID number. Purpose and place of trip: to present the title of your research paper in the destination, city, state, and country. The meeting is the time and date that the conference began and ended. List the campus extension number for your office. Daily travel expenses. Across the top, list the dates for each day of your trip. Then, list the amount you paid for each meal. The spreadsheet will automatically calculate the totals. While a receipt is not required for each meal, list the exact amount you paid for each meal. As you learned from completing the Modern Languages Graduate Student Travel application above, the high-cost meal list on the Office of Procurement's website at umml.link/procurement provides the maximum meal reimbursement per day for your destination. Do not exceed this maximum meal amount per day. Then record the amount spent per day on hotels and lodging. The spreadsheet will automatically calculate the total. Include printed receipts or PDFs that show you paid these amounts. On the next lines, list the expenses for taxis or Ubers, parking tolls, and gasoline if you have a rental car. Include printed receipts or PDFs that show you paid these amounts. Transportation. If you used your personal vehicle to travel to and from the conference, or to travel to and from the Memphis airport, you are eligible for a mileage reimbursement. List the date of each car trip and the to and from locations. Then, on the Office of Procurement's website at umml.link/procurement, click the one-way mileage from Oxford link. Search for your destination and list the mileage on the Travel Reimbursement Voucher. The Excel spreadsheet will automatically calculate the amount of mileage reimbursed. List your airfare, rental car, and bus or train expenses. Include printed receipts or PDFs that show you paid these amounts. Also, include the comparison airfare prices explained above in the Reservations section of this video that you saved when you purchased your airline ticket. Expenditures. List the conference registration fee and include a printed receipt or PDF that shows you paid this amount. List any banquet fees or organization dues that you paid as part of your conference and include a printed receipt or PDF that shows you paid these amounts. List any other reimbursable expenses here and include a printed receipt or PDF showing you paid these amounts. If you took an international trip, visit oanda.com, search for the exchange rate for the country you visited, and save a screenshot or PDF of this exchange rate. Include the PDF showing this exchange rate. List the rate in this box on the travel reimbursement voucher. Finally, sign and date the form. Then, email the travel reimbursement voucher and include printed or PDF receipts for each expense to Dr. Clote at jklodt@oldmiss.edu. It can sometimes take a few weeks to receive your reimbursement, but correctly completed forms and submitting your forms as soon as possible will expedite the process. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact Dr. Clote. Good luck.